Hi guys, today we will learn about recursion. Recursion is a programming concept. It's basically a methodology, okay, or you can say approach what we follow in our programming uh, when we do programming. So this has been derived from mathematics, and what is basically done in recursion is whichever function from the function calls itself, okay, that's what in simple or layman terms you can say, when a function calls itself it is called recursion. Now we'll in a bit I'll give you more examples on this so that it will be very much clear to you. So just go through the theory first, okay, then I'll give you a practical example through coding. So what we why we do recursion? Because there are some scenarios come we come up with we come up with some scenarios when if we call the function itself, then we can reach the solution more easily and in less time, okay, more easily, and the solution is very much intuitive. That's why we uh, we use recursion, okay. But we also keep in mind that uh, recursion can, we can also do some mistakes, we can also slip in doing some mistake while defining a recursion, and the function which we have defined with recursion may not terminate at all, okay. So it is very tricky also. So you must be very much aware whenever you are doing recursion, and it's uh, it's mathematically it's very much elegant. It is very much elegant and efficient, we can say. So now we come up to the advantages of recursion. What are the advantages of recursion? Advantages of recursion is a complicated function can be split down into smaller sub problems, okay. So what this first advantage states that uh, that a complicated function a complicated function a complicated function can be divided or splitted down into smaller sub problems. Means we can uh, minimize, okay, we can uh, how we solve the problem, we can uh, simplify it by dividing into smaller sub problems, okay. That's how this is a major help of a major advantage of recursion. Other advantage is sequence creation is simpler through recursion and utilizing any nested iteration. Means sequence creation, we follow a uh, uh, sequence of iteration, okay, through recursion. Or other way we can do is we can run nested for loops, that also we can do. But in this case if we are using recursion, then a sequence of iterations we can create. Sequence creation is done, okay. We don't need to go to nested iterations. Means nested for loops we don't need to do, so that we can avoid if we use recursion. Now other benefit is recursion functions render to code looks simple and effective, okay. This is a basic what is about simple and effective, okay. Now there are also some disadvantage of recursion also. So what are the disadvantages? A lot of memory and time is taken, okay. A lot of memory and time is taken through recursive calls and makes it expensive for use. memory, it takes up a lot of memory and takes up a lot of time. But yeah, it is also, in some cases it is also very efficient, if you can say that. We can say that it is also efficient in some places, but in most cases, uh, recursion takes a lot of time, because multiple scenarios, it can handle all different scenarios for a given situation. So in that case, the time complexity grows. Okay, so that's the one major issue of recursion. And recursive functions are challenging to debug. Means uh, we face issues while debugging recursion, because the function is calling itself. So each time we'll get into the same function with a different value of its variables. So each time the variables value change, but we go through the same lines of code. So that way, since we are going through the same lines of code again and again, so debugging becomes slightly difficult. And the reason behind the third disadvantage is, the reason behind it can sometimes be tough to think though. Okay, reasoning behind. So this is for the beginners, I would say. If you are practice good, reasoning behind recursion tough to think. It becomes tough to think sometimes. So this is for beginners mostly. But if you get practice, well practiced in programming and doing recursion, then you can overcome this disadvantage. So basically, disadvantages are, it consumes a lot of memory and time for most cases, and debugging is challenging. And the advantages are, complicated functions can be divided into sub problems. Sequentially we solve the problem instead of doing nesting loops, and the code looks simple and effective. If you write a code for some problem in nested loop, it will be much longer and very much complex looking than as compared to a, recursive program for the similar problem, because recursive program for the similar problem would look much simpler, okay, and much smaller in size as compared to the nested one. Whatever we do with the nested, if for loop or nested for loops, if we do for loop and while loop, if we do, that will be slightly longer. Now let's go to the practical examples of recursive programs. Well, the first example we will see is the Fibonacci numbers. Okay. So what is a Fibonacci number? Fibonacci number is in this sequence: 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. These are Fibonacci numbers. Okay. These are Fibonacci numbers. So this is how. So Fibonacci of 1 is, Fibonacci of 0 is 0, Fibonacci of 1 is 1, Fibonacci of 2 is 1. So this way how it goes. Hope you understand. Okay. So it's very simple. But the major thing in Fibonacci sorry, the major thing in Fibonacci is this formula. Okay, like the nth number is equal to sum of n minus 1 and n minus 2 number. So suppose this number 5. Now 5 is the sum of 2 and 3, the last two numbers. 55, we take 55. 55 is the sum of 34 and 21. Similarly 144. 144 is sum of 89 and 55. So that's how Fibonacci follows. But the first two Fibonacci numbers are 0 and 1. And from 2, this condition starts following. Okay, that Fibonacci of 2 is Fibonacci of 1 plus Fibonacci of 0. Fibonacci of 3 is Fibonacci of 1 plus Fibonacci of 2, that is 1 plus 1, 2. Fibonacci of 4 is Fibonacci of 5. Fibonacci fifth Fibonacci number, that is 3, is the sum of fourth Fibonacci number, that is 2, and third Fibonacci number, that is 1. So that's how it goes. Okay, now let's jump into the code. This is a simple code for Fibonacci number. We define a function fib NACCA, Fibonacci, and this is how the code looks. So now this is the function Fibonacci. For n it is calling. Okay, now we are writing a condition: if n is less than 1, if n is 1 less than, and if n is equal to 1, then return 1. If n is equal to 0, then return 0. Hope you understand this. Means if 0 is given, then simply 0 will be returned. If 1 is given, then 1 will be returned. Now if 2 is given, then this function will be called. This statement will be called. Fibonacci of n minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So Fibonacci of, this is the code for getting the nth Fibonacci number. Okay, this is the code for finding nth Fibonacci number. Now if we want Fibonacci of 2, that will be Fibonacci of 0 plus Fibonacci of 1. Okay, that is 0 plus 1, 1. Similarly, we can say Fibonacci of 2. There is second number, second Fibonacci number, 0th Fibonacci number, 1 first Fibonacci number. So this is how we can see this. Okay, now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th number, 8th number, 9th number, 10th number, 11th number, 12th. So these are the indices and these are the numbers. So we have written the code to write nth Fibonacci number. So suppose we want to find 7th Fibonacci number. Let's check out. This is the print statement. We are inputting, enter the number of, enter, sorry, it will be, enter the value of n. Okay. Now we run the code. Enter the value of n. So which nth Fibonacci number we want? We want the 7th one, which is 13. So let's see, so 13 is coming or not. Yeah, we got 13. Now we'll try one more. 12th one, 144. Okay, 12th. We got 144. Now we run it for a pretty large number, 100, yeah, 1000. So it broke. See, I told you that the disadvantages of recursion. Recursion error, maximum recursion depth exceeded in comparison. So it broke. Okay, why? Because this function was called a lot of times. Okay, 1000 times it is not possible. If you count the tree, it will go like 2 to the power 1000 calls will be there. Not 2 to the power 1000, let me count. Yeah, 2 to the power 1000. 2 to the power 1000, so it broke. If you see the time complexity of this, so if we try with 100, it is taking, see, it is taking a lot of time to print 100. Let's wait for a while. We don't have much time, leave it. Keyboard interrupted. Now let's print for a smaller value, like what to say, 20. Yeah, we got the Fibonacci number 6765. So this is how we can use recursion to find the this is how we can use recursion to find the nth Fibonacci number. Now let's check the second example, which is factorial program using recursion. Okay, so I have already written the code. This one is the code. Just copy and paste it. I will remove this Fibonacci. And we write over here factorial. That's it. So now what is factorial? We first need to understand that. Okay, so factorial of a number n is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to 1. This is a factorial of nth number. For factorial of 5 we get 120. Okay, so now let's write the code. See the code. It's factorial of n. We take the input n. If n is equal to 1, then we return 1. This is the limiting condition. Okay, this is the breaking condition. If we don't do this condition, see, in this Fibonacci also, if these two conditions wouldn't have been there, na, so then this would have gone into infinite loop. Okay, and heap space would have been exceeded. So we must need to provide this boundary condition. Okay, this breaking condition, where this recursion will terminate, the termination condition for this recursion. So when n is equal to 1, return 1, and if otherwise, return n into factorial n minus 1. Okay, so this is what the basic code is. Factorial of n minus 1. So again n minus 1 will be called, then it will n minus 1 into factorial of n minus 2 it will do. Then that way it will continue up to 1, and then at last 1 will be returned. Then 1 into n minus 1 will be done, and that will be returned. And then 1 into 2 will be returned, and then 2 into 1 into 2 into 3 will be returned. Then 3 into 4 will be returned. That way n minus k will be returned. Then that way it will continue to return one by one. Okay, so let's see by running this code. If we write 5, what we get? We got 120. Okay, we can also do one thing over here. Print n comma n is equals to space. Okay, this will keep a track of what numbers we are going through. Okay, at each loop. Print it over here, otherwise one will be missed. Now let's run the code for 5. See, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, first we entered with 5, then 5 calls 4, then 4 calls 3, then 3 calls 2, then 2 calls 1, and at 1 n is equal to 1, it becomes n equal to 1, and this is the terminating condition of this recursion. So it returns 1. Okay, and that way 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 4, then 4 into 5, and finally we get 120. This is how we get 120. This is pretty simple. Okay, it is bit tricky also. Okay, you must get an idea of how we are going through this recursion. Okay, so that is also pretty important. Let's see the next example. Calculate power of a number using recursion. Okay, we have to calculate the power of a number. uh, Power of a number means n is equal to a to the power b. So we want to calculate a to the power b, and that will do via recursion. I have also already written the code. Let's see. We will shift it below. Take the power code. In Python, it is pretty easy. Okay, to write the recursive code, but in if you because see in 4-5 lines we can write the whole code, but if you go in C++ or C or Java, it takes a bit like 10-15 lines. So I'd say Python is pretty easy. Okay, enter the value of a, int, a and b. Okay, so this way we will take the input and pass it in the power function. Just test it once. We are running a loop. Sorry guys. Yeah, separate it out now. Let's separate it out. Yeah, not so. Let's see the code. So we define the power function as a comma b, power a comma b. We take two inputs, a and b. A is the value which we want to multiply b number of times. Okay, so what will be the terminating condition for this recursion will be, the terminating condition will be, if b is equals to 0, then we will return simply 1. Okay, otherwise we will what we will do, we will multiply a with a into power of a comma b minus 1. Okay, we do recursion over here, means a b minus 1 times into a times into a. Okay, and at each iteration this will keep on decrementing one by one. Okay, one by one. That way we'll get a b number of times, a multiplied b number of times, a will be multiplied b number of times. So let's see the example. We do 3 comma 2, we get 9. Now let's try for some larger value, 2 comma 10, we should get 1024. Yeah, we got the value. Now let's do for 7 space 20. Yeah, we still got the value. So it's working. Okay, so I hope you understand this code. In case you have any doubt, guys, you can write me in the comments section, and I have tried my best to make you understand recursion with 3 examples. I hope these will be enough. And that's it, guys. Have a good day.